Global Safety Labs presents Revolutionary New Products. Hello, I'm Mike Freeman, CEO of Global Safety Labs. What you're about to see in this presentation are truly revolutionary new products that have application literally around the globe. The first of these is the Arctic Fire Freeze line of products, featuring a radically new spent carbon fiber cloth that can be woven into garments like the combat underwear the United States military is currently testing. The second Arctic Fire Freeze product is a miracle fire suppression liquid. Its thermoprotective properties make changes at a molecular level to protect skin, people, and equipment. Both of these products were recently tested at Camp Erjwan in Kuwait by the United States military and Kellogg Brown and Root for applications in convoy vehicles in the Iraqi theater. Now get close and watch this exciting presentation.
Arctic Fire is a food-grade material, and once again it is designed specifically to spray on humans and in the environment. Once an object or surface is wetted with the Arctic Fire product, the Arctic Fire protects that surface from burning. Also, it sets up a thermal barrier or shield which doesn't allow the heat to penetrate this cotton terry material. The heat on this torch was measured at about 1900 degrees Fahrenheit, and at this point I feel no heat transfer to my hand whatsoever. Now the stain that you see is a result of the carbon buildup from the burning propane torch. Arctic Fire has also the ability to not only protect inanimate objects but also people as well. For example, I have some hair on my arm, obviously here. I'll take some Arctic Fire product. And once again with the torch, once again, you can see that I still have my skin and body hair intact.
Every day on steel sites around the world, vehicle operators safely transport and dig thousands of tons of molten steel and slag. This industry's safety record is one of the best, but there's always the potential for a pot breakout, an eruption of slag, or a spillage which could result in a fire and expose vehicle operators to extreme danger. Those working in this industry must be constantly alert to these hazards and be ready to take action required to protect themselves and others in an emergency.
Arctic Fire does two things that I'm aware of through our tests and the experiments we've done with dummies. One, it will prevent the clothing from actually catching on fire. And secondly, and very importantly, when you have a person inside that clothing, is it stops the transfer of heat to the skin. So we have attempted to give tools to our operators to save their life.
To prove the integrity of both Arctic Fire and the Essex VRU escape hood, two alike dummies were suspended over hot slag under similar conditions to those an operator might encounter when running over molten or semi-molten material. The hood and overalls of one dummy is soaked with Arctic Fire. The dummy not protected with Arctic Fire starts to smolder before it's even reached the lowest point of the test area, where molten slag has just started to crust over at a temperature well in excess of 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. After 15 seconds exposure, the dummy protected by Arctic Fire shows no sign of igniting, whereas the unprotected dummy is already on fire. After 30 seconds, the unprotected dummy is completely engulfed by flame. However, the dummy protected by Arctic Fire still remains unaffected by this extreme heat. The Arctic Fire liquid agent only starts to steam off the protected dummy after being exposed to semi-molten slag for a full 2 minutes. The escape hood also remains fully intact and operable, and as we can see, does not catch fire even on the dry dummy. In another test, a section of loader tire was wetted with Arctic Fire and lowered onto hot crusted slag. After 2 minutes, the fire is starting to take hold. After 4 minutes, the tire is engulfed in flames, but not the section protected by Arctic Fire. Even after 7 minutes at a temperature over 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, the section of tire protected by Arctic fire still hasn't caught fire. An extreme test, but one which clearly illustrates the heat and temperature protecting properties of Arctic fire. Most importantly, this demonstrates that materials wetted with Arctic fire will not burn.
In December of 2005, an important test was conducted by Kellogg, Brown & Root and the United States military in Dubai, Kuwait. The Udari Fire Department of Kuwait assisted in the military test of the Arctic Fire Freeze products. In this dramatic video, you can see the truck is fully engulfed in flames. In the driver's seat is 3 raw eggs wrapped with the carbon fiber cloth and doused with the Arctic Fire Freeze liquid solution. After a 4-minute burn, the vehicle was extinguished so the eggs could be extracted. In a dramatic moment, the eggs were removed from the burned vehicle. When the eggs were removed from the cloth, they were cold to the touch. In the compelling conclusion to this demonstration, the 3 raw eggs were extracted from the cloth and cracked open, showing that they had not been cooked despite the fact that they had been inside a burning vehicle for over 4 minutes. This amazing test convinced Kellogg, Brown & Root and Army generals alike that the Arctic Fire Freeze products have a valid application on convoy and military vehicles in a war theater. For more information, call Global Safety Labs 1-877-800-12